Ricky Nelson's life has long been remembered through a warm lens of nostalgia. To many, he remains the handsome teenage heartthrob with a velvet voice, a smiling presence on black and white television, and a soundtrack that defined young America's first romance with rock and roll. Yet behind that familiar image lies a story far more complicated and, ultimately, far more tragic. Born into fame, Ricky grew up under constant scrutiny, evolving from child actor to musical pioneer while quietly fighting to be taken seriously as an artist and as a man. His journey was one of reinvention, resilience, and creative defiance. But it is his untimely death in 1985 that has lingered as an unresolved shadow over his legacy. For decades, rumours and speculation blurred the truth, leaving fans with more questions than answers. Now, with the mystery finally clarified, Ricky Nelson's story stands not only as a tale of stardom, but as a sobering reminder of how brilliance can be lost to preventable failure. Born into the spotlight, Ricky Nelson entered the world with fame already waiting for him. Born Eric Hilliard. Nelson in 1940, he was the son of Ozzie and Harriet Nelson, two of America's most beloved entertainers. From early childhood, Ricky's life unfolded in front of millions through the adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, a radio show turned television phenomenon that mirrored the family's real-life dynamics. Unlike many child stars who struggle under early exposure, Ricky seemed to thrive. Audiences watched him grow up, forming a rare emotional bond that made him feel like part of their own families. His charm was effortless, his presence natural, and his appeal undeniable. Yet, growing up on screen also meant growing up without privacy. Every phase of Ricky's life was documented, critiqued, and packaged for public consumption. While the show gave him security and opportunity, it also quietly limited him, locking him into an image that would later be difficult to escape. Even as a child, Ricky's life was shaped by expectations he never asked for, setting the stage for his lifelong struggle between identity and image. A rock and roll trailblazer, Ricky Nelson's transition from sitcom son to rock and roll star was nothing short of revolutionary. At a time when rock music unsettled older generations, Ricky became its clean-cut ambassador. His debut single, a cover of Fats Domino's I'm Walkin', exploded onto the charts in 1957, instantly separating him from the confines of television fame. What followed was a remarkable run of hits that included Hello, Mary Lou, Travelin' Man, and Poor Little Fool. Ricky's smooth voice and approachable image made rock music acceptable in American living rooms, helping bridge the cultural divide between youth rebellion and mainstream values. He wasn't just a teen idol, he was a gateway. By his early 20s, Ricky had sold millions of records and became one of the most successful solo artists of his generation. Yet, behind the success was quiet pressure. He was expected to remain the same forever, even as his artistry evolved. The very image that launched his career would later resist his growth, creating tension between who Ricky was and who audiences wanted him to be, refusing to stand still. As musical trends shifted in the mid-1960s, Ricky Nelson faced a defining crossroads. Rather than chasing chart dominance by mimicking newer sounds, he chose artistic honesty. Turning toward country rock, he formed the Stone Canyon Band, embracing a deeper, more mature musical identity. This decision puzzled some fans, but earned him lasting respect among musicians. His 1972 song Garden Party became a quiet manifesto, inspired by an audience that rejected his newer material in favour of nostalgia. The song's message was clear. Authenticity matters more than approval. In hindsight, Ricky was ahead of his time. Country rock would soon dominate the airwaves through bands like the Eagles, validating his instincts. While his mainstream popularity fluctuated, his credibility only grew. Ricky proved that reinvention was not betrayal, but survival. He accepted that fame was fleeting, but integrity was permanent. This chapter of his life revealed a man no longer chasing applause, but meaning, even if it meant standing alone. A serious actor behind the smile. Though music defined Ricky Nelson's legacy, his acting career showed equal depth. From early appearances in family films to standout roles like his gunslinger performance in Rio Bravo, Ricky demonstrated real range. Director Howard Hawks recognized his quiet intensity, pairing him with legends like John Wayne and Dean Martin. Far from being overshadowed, Ricky held his own, bringing youthful vulnerability and understated strength to the screen. Television roles throughout the 1960s and 70s allowed him to stretch beyond his boy-next-door image. He played outlaws, lawmen, and troubled figures, reflecting the complexity he felt off-screen. Guest appearances on major shows kept him relevant while offering creative freedom. Acting became another outlet for expression, especially as music industry pressures mounted. Ricky never chased prestige. He chased honesty. Whether on screen or stage, his performances carried a sincerity that resonated deeply. He was not trying to be iconic. He was simply trying to be real. Love, family, and quiet strain. Ricky Nelson's personal life was far more fragile than his public image suggested. His marriage to Chris Harmon in 1963 appeared ideal on the surface, uniting two famous American families. Together, they had 4 children and embodied Hollywood's version of domestic success. Yet beneath that image, cracks slowly formed. Ricky's constant touring and creative restlessness contrasted sharply with the demands of family life. Over time, emotional distance, rumors of infidelity, and growing resentment took their toll. The divorce in 1982 was long, painful, and deeply personal. Despite the heartbreak, Ricky remained devoted to his children, particularly proud of his son's later musical success. Still, the end of his marriage marked a turning point. His later music carried more melancholy, reflecting loss and introspection. Love had given him grounding, but its collapse left wounds that never fully healed. Fame could not shield him from the quiet loneliness that followed. The night everything ended. On December 31st, 1985, Ricky Nelson boarded a vintage DC-3 aircraft, bound for a New Year's Eve performance in Dallas. What should have been a routine flight ended in catastrophe. Mid-air, a fire erupted inside the cabin, filling it with smoke. The plane crashed near DeKalb, Texas. The pilot survived, but Ricky, his fiancée Helen Blair, and 5 band members were killed. Early reports offered vague explanations, citing mechanical issues. Almost immediately, rumors surfaced, some cruel, others reckless. Speculation about drugs and personal behavior spread quickly, casting an unfair shadow over Ricky's final moments. For his family and fans, the grief was compounded by uncertainty. The truth felt incomplete, leaving a lingering sense of injustice. How could someone so beloved die in such confusion? For years, the answer remained frustratingly out of reach. Rumors, blame, and lingering doubt. In the aftermath of the crash, the absence of clear answers created space for speculation. Tabloids seized the moment, circulating claims of drug use despite toxicology reports confirming none were present. These rumors caused lasting pain for Ricky's family, especially his children, who watched their father's reputation quietly questioned. Official investigations concluded that the fire originated in the cabin, but failed to determine exactly how. The heater system was mentioned, but without firm accountability. For decades, the mystery lingered. Fans debated theories, while the truth remained buried in technical language and incomplete records. What should have been a matter of safety became a moral failure of transparency. The unanswered questions turned Ricky's death into a legend rather than a lesson. Closure was denied, not because it didn't exist, but because it had not yet been fully uncovered. The truth, finally revealed. Years later, determined investigators revisited the case with fresh eyes. Aviation historians and forensic experts uncovered disturbing details. The DC-3 was outdated, poorly maintained, and operating with known safety issues. The heater system had been improperly modified, placed dangerously close to flammable materials beneath the cabin floor. Complaints about the heater had been raised before, yet ignored. When it malfunctioned mid-flight, the fire spread rapidly. There was no proper fire suppression equipment on board. The passengers had no chance. Evidence suggests they likely succumbed to smoke inhalation before impact. The most painful revelation was not how the fire started, but that it could have been prevented. Those responsible knew the risks and allowed the plane to fly anyway. Ricky Nelson did not die because of fate or recklessness. He died because safety was neglected. A legacy touched by tragedy. The final truth about Ricky Nelson's death offers clarity but little comfort. His life was marked by talent, courage, and a constant fight for authenticity. His death, now fully understood, stands as a tragic reminder of how preventable failures can steal irreplaceable lives. Ricky's legacy endures through his music, his films, and his children's success. Yet the circumstances of his passing demand accountability and reflection. Mysteries, once solved, do not always heal wounds. Sometimes they deepen them. Ricky Nelson's story is no longer one of unanswered questions, but of lost responsibility. He remains a symbol of artistic integrity and human vulnerability, reminding us that even legends rely on the care of others. When that care fails, the cost can be devastating.